Good morning, all students. Today, in our next lecture of embedded system, we are starting the unit number 3 called communication standards and protocol. So, till last lecture, we have studied what do you mean by embedded system, what are the parts of embedded system. Again, we have seen the basic embedded C programming. In that, basics of embedded C like data character, what is meant by variable, how to assign variable. Again, how to use delays, how to generate delay, how to use the registers in C language. All the basic concepts of C language we have studied. Now, from onward, we are going to study the next topic, that is the communication standard. Now, whenever microcontroller works, this microcontroller whenever works, it has to be communicated with various peripheral devices. That devices may be the memory device, device may be the output device, that device may be the input device. Generally, these devices are connected to the through the ports. In our microcontroller, there are generally four ports are there. Port number 0, 1, 2, 3, as well as one UART is there, okay, for the serial communication. Generally, ports communicate with the parallel communication, and the UART communicate with the serial communication. So we'll study in deep that what is meant by communication protocols and how these standards are designed by using the communication protocol. So first of all, we'll see what is meant by the communication. Communication means whenever two devices which are at a distance, whenever they want to communicate with each other, they have to share the data between them, then the communication starts. Likewise, whenever we go into some conversation, first of all, we go and we provide some handshaking signals like gestures like welcome, etc. Sorry. So, uh, when these handshaking signals are done, then we start communicating with the other person. So, this is nothing but whenever we are communicating with peripheral devices also, first of all, we have to start the handshaking signals. Means we have to notify the controller that we are ready to receive the data and we are ready to transmit the data. Then this communication starts. If microcontroller doesn't know that the printer ready to print, then microcontroller will not send data to the printer. Similarly, if some display device is there, previously some data has been sent to the display that display this much amount of characters to them. Then microcontroller will not send data until that first data is printed on the screen. Okay, it is displayed on the screen. When display will notify microcontroller that the previous data has been displayed, send me another data for the displaying. Then and then only the microcontroller sends the next data to the screen. Okay. So in this way, this communication takes place. But communication takes place generally by using two ways. That is your serial communication and parallel communication. Now, what is serial communication, parallel communication? The basics of this you have already studied in previous subjects of analog communication, digital communication. So, how this communication takes place, you know the basics. We'll brush up again. So, serial communication is nothing but that the communication takes place bit by bit. Okay. Likewise, whenever all the data is sent, that data is sent one by one through a single wire or single cable. Okay. So that data transmission is through single cable. Okay. So serial communication data is transmitted serially bit by bit. Again, there are subtypes also. We'll discuss this later. That serial communication, the advantages are that serial communication takes place through only one cable. Okay, so the size of the system is less, the cost of the system is less, correct? And whenever it is according to the clock, so synchronization takes place between the transmitter and receiver. So this synchronization is very much important. If you are transmitting data at your own speed, but receiver is not matching up to your transmission speed, then the data sent by the transmitter will not be cached by the receiver. So in serial communication, this is the advantage that transmitter and receiver both are in synchronous with each other. The circuit complexity is less and the communication distance is more. So these are the advantages of serial communication. This takes place because of the data is transmitted serially through a single cable. Okay. Then the parallel communication is there. So in parallel communication, the data is transmitted at a time through the 8-bit or 16-bit cable, or it can be the 32-bit cable nowadays. Your microprocessor nowadays communicate with 32-bit data cable. So the data communication is very fast as compared to the serial communication, correct? But as all the data is transmitted in burst mode, the circuit complexity is very high, okay? And the size of the system is bulky, okay? So cost increases, size increases, and data speed also increases. So data speed is advantage, but size and cost is disadvantage. Again, as the parallel lines are to be placed between the transmitter and receiver, because of the capacitance and inductance, the distance of communication decreases. The distance of communication decreases very much, because if serial communication is to communicate over a long distance like in kilometer, whereas the parallel communication takes place in meters only. For uh, for communicating in parallel communication over a long distance, the power requirement is very high. Again, the circuit complexity increases. Again, the noise reduction filters are to be introduced over there. So that's the parallel communication is very tedious thing for a long distance communication. So generally we are not using parallel communication for longer distance. We are using the parallel communication for smaller distance, the less meter distance. So like 1 meter, 2 meter, or in centimeter or in inches. Okay, but serial communication is used for longer distance communication. Parallel communication is faster as compared to the serial communication. Okay. Now, serial communication, there are again two types of serial communication. If you are using clock for transmitting the data, then that serial communication is known as a synchronous serial communication, whereas where the transmitter and receiver both are in synchronous with each other. Okay, so it is in synchronous with each other. That's why it is called as a synchronous serial communication. And second type of serial communication is where that transmitter uses the some bits. That bits are for the synchronization purpose for between transmitter and receiver. Means they are not bits are not transmitted as per the clock, but it notifies the receiver that I am going to transmit the data. Okay, and when the all data is transmitted, it gives indication that I have stopped my data transmission. Means it notifies every time to the transmitter that I have started communication and I have stopped the communication. So that is called as asynchronous. Means transmitter and receiver are not in synchronous with each other, but they are using some handshaking signals for the communication. Likewise, whenever we go to the unknown person, we don't directly start communicating with him. First of all, we give him hello message. Then we tells our motto why we are up to him for the communication. Then we start the communication. Whatever our actual message is, we communicate it with him. Means what? Likewise, whenever I'm starting the lecture, I first of all welcome you. I give a good morning message to you. I tell you what we are going to learn in this topic and what we have learned in previous topic. And when I'm ending up the lecture, I'm telling you that I am going to stop my lecture. So these are nothing but the handshaking signals. These parameters are there which are used to give to the people that we have started communication and we have ended the communication. Similarly, between transmitter and receiver, whenever we are not communicating along the clock, if you are not sending the clock. Serial communication, synchronous communication is what? That first clock edges arises, the data is transmitted according to the clock cycle. Again, second bit will be transmitted according to the second clock cycle. Likewise, for each clock edge or the what we say the level, edge level or level edge triggered or level triggered, these two types are again there. But when according to the clock data is transmitted, that is nothing but the synchronous communication. And when we are transmitting the data after some communication bits, like starting bits and stop bits are there, that bits are called as the handshaking bits. So when this data is transmitted according to the handshaking bits, we call it as a data that asynchronous serial communication. So we'll study it. Let me share the screen now. So as you can see here, these two are the serial communication types. Okay, on the screen, as you can see, serial communication, these two types are there. This first one is your synchronous serial communication. The second is the asynchronous serial communication. Asynchronous. Synchronous and asynchronous, these two types are there. Okay. So we'll see the first one, synchronous communication. So as you can see that transmitter and receiver are connected to each other by using two lines. The first line is your data line and second line, which is shown over here, is a clock line. So the transmitter and receiver both runs on the same clock. Both runs on the same clock. So what you have to do that so as you can see over there, when this first clock edge arises, the transmitter can transmit data according to the edge triggering also or the level triggering. Edge triggering means what? There are two edges. One is the rising edge and second is the falling edge. When the data is transmitted along with the rising edge of the clock, two edges are there. Rising edge means when the clock is going from 0 to 1, that is called rising edge, and falling edge means clock is going from 1 to 0, that is a falling edge. So when rising edge is there, when your communication takes place along with the rising edge, then it is called as a edge triggered, or it may be the falling edge, it is also called as a edge triggered communication. Means when that edge appears, bit is transmitted to the receiver, and when that edge is received at the receiver side, the controller will check what bit is received, whether it is 0 or whether it is a 1. Means communication takes place along with the clock. Okay, so the data rate or the bit rate, both are according to the clock. If clock frequency is 1 kilohertz, then within a 1 second 1 kilo bits are transmitted. Bits, I'm saying 1 kilo bits are transmitting. So that data rate is nothing but the 1 kilo bit. So if the clock frequency is more, then data communication will take place at a faster rate. So the data speed depends upon the clock. If the transmitter and receiver can work on a megahertz frequency or gigahertz frequency, then the data rate is very high. So this is a serial synchronous communication where the data transmission takes place according to the clock. If the circuit is working on the rising edge of the what is can say clock or the falling edge, then it is called as edge triggered synchronous communication. If the data is transmitted along with the level, that binary 1 level or binary 0 level, when according to the level means when that level is reached, that data is transmitted or received, then it is called as a level triggered. Then again it is logic 0 level triggered, logic 1 level triggered. Again there are subtypes are there. So synchronous communication is a type of serial communication where the communication takes place as per the triggered, edge triggered or level triggered way. Okay, so that is nothing but your synchronous communication. Okay, and second one is your asynchronous communication. As you can see here, the transmitter and receiver both are connected through the single cable. That data wire is nothing but the your data cable. Okay, that wire is nothing but the data cable. So here the two lines are used in serial communication, synchronous communication, clock and data line. Here only single data line is used, means no clock is there. That's why it is called as asynchronous. In synchronous case, transmitter and receiver both are in synchronous with each other. So they are communicating with each other using the clock. Okay, so both works on same clock. Means what? You can say that both are working on same clock crystal oscillator, but the transmitter transmits that frequency to the receiver side. Okay, it is not always the case that a transmitter transmits the clock to the receiver. It can be the case that if this side is the master, master always transmit the what you can say clock to the slaves. If slave is transmitting data, still the clock is supplied by the master. Okay, so master always supply the clock. Whether master is receiving or transmitting, in both case, master device supply the clock. Now, what is meant by master? What is meant by slave? Master is nothing but the main controller, and slave means the peripheral devices. If suppose the input device is some sensor, okay, so sensor will be slave, microcontroller will be master. But data is transmitted by sensor to the controller. So your sensor will not generate clock. Clock is generated by master only. So in that case, it will be microcontroller, and means transmitter will be your sensor and receiver will be your microcontroller. But still receiver is supplying the clock. Means it is not the case that always transmitter supplies the clock. Every time master supplies the clock and the slave receives the clock, and according to the clock data is transmitted or received, either way. Okay, so I hope it is clear. Next thing is asynchronous communication, where you can see, let me zoom in so that you can be able to see it clearly. I hope it is clearly visible. Okay, so as you can see, the transmitter is connected to the receiver through single cable. Okay, this is at this point, here it will be your transmitter, here it will be your transmitter, here it will be your receiver. Okay, so as you can see that the data line is first of all binary one. When no transmission or when no communication is there, data line will be one. Start bit will add the start bit is always a binary low. When the line is pulled by the transmitter to the logic 0 level, that is nothing but your start bit. Means it indicates to the receiver that I have started the communication. Okay, so here the communication starts. Okay, when the bit becomes low, and after that you can transmit any value, 1001, 1010, 001, anything. 8 bits are transmitted at the same time. Means again the MSB can be transmitted first or LSB transmitted first, depends on the transmitter and receiver configuration. Some communication takes place with the MSB bit first, or some communication takes place with the LSB bit first. So any communication can be there. Okay, so these 8 bits are transmitted, and then finally the 9th bit will be the stop bit. And when the 9 bit stop bit is transmitted, the cable becomes again the ideal cable, means the logic 1. So after completion of 1 byte, the data communication is over. When you are transmitting the second byte, again same, start bit will be transmitted, stop bit will be transmitted similarly. Okay, so I hope it is clear. This is asynchronous communication. One can say that the asynchronous communication is slower as compared to the synchronous communication. Like synchronous communication, when you increase the clock frequency, the data rate will increase. One can say that, but sometimes that transmitter, if transmitter is able to transmit the data at very high rate, means data will be transmitted in a bulk, then the communication rate can be faster in case of asynchronous communication. म्हणजे सिंक्रोनस पेक्षा असिंक्रोनस मध्ये कधी कधी डेटा रेट हा फास्टर असू शकतो, कारण डेटा हा बल्क मध्ये विदाउट क्लॉक, म्हणजे क्लॉकचे कधी कधी लिमिटेशन्स येतात की क्लॉक हे लॉंग डिस्टन्सला ट्रॅव्हल होत नाही, की कंटिन्युअस 101010 फ्लक्च्युएशन्स होतात. त्यामुळे सिंक्रोनस कम्युनिकेशनला पण कधी कधी डेटा रेटला लिमिटेशन्स येतात, पण असिंक्रोनसला डेटाच फक्त केबलवर जातो आहे. त्याच्यामुळे स्टार्ट बिट स्टॉप बिट ऍड केला की तुम्ही स्टार्टिंगला स्टार्ट बिट, डेटा रेट, तुम्ही डेटा जो आहे तो पाहिजे त्या फ्रिक्वेन्सीवर तुम्ही तो ट्रान्समिट करू शकता. So that is your asynchronous communication, and data rate can be faster. So if you see the comparison between synchronous communication and asynchronous communication, so as you can see, the serial synchronous communication, two lines are used, data line, clock line. In asynchronous communication, as you can see, the communication takes place through only a single data line. No clock is provided. So synchronous communication, clock is provided. Asynchronous, clock is not provided. The serial communication, the data rate is faster. You can say that data is faster because it is according to clock. In asynchronous communication, data rate or the bit rate is slower. In serial communication, the start bit, stop bits are not required. In asynchronous communication, start bit and stop bits are required. The distance of communication for serial communication is relatively less than asynchronous communication, and for asynchronous communication, the distance of communication is large. So this is the case. Okay. So in serial communication, these are the advantages and disadvantages. In asynchronous communication, the advantages and disadvantages are discussed. Okay, I hope it's clear. Now, next thing, we are moving on to the parallel communication. Okay, so parallel communication. So as you can see that parallel communication require parallel ports. So if your port is 8-bit, then you can transmit all 8-bit at a single time. If your communication port is of 16-bit, then you can transmit 16-bit at a time. So in case of serial communication, only one bit was transmitted at a time. Means whether it was a synchronous or asynchronous. Synchronous असेल तरी पण according to the clock एकच बिट जाणार आहे. Asynchronous जरी असलं तरी वन बाय वन बर्स्ट मध्ये का होईना पण वन बाय वन एका लाईनवर एक बिट एक ऍट अ टाइम जाणार आहे. ओके, सो दॅट इज युअर asynchronous communication, but it is also one bit at a time. But here, if your microcontroller is 8-bit, at a clock, all 8 bits are transmitted. Again, if it is of 16-bit, at a single clock, all 16 bits are transmitted at a time. So likewise, your data bits are transmitted in burst case, as you can say. So the advantage is that the communication is at very faster rate. Means you can say that जर synchronous communication एका सेकंदला 1 मेगाबिट्स ट्रान्समिट करत असेल क्लॉक नुसार, तर पॅरलल कम्युनिकेशन मध्ये एका वेळेस 8 मेगाबिट्स ट्रान्समिट होतील, बिकॉज इट इज मल्टिप्लाइड बाय 8. एका क्लॉकला 8 बिट ट्रान्समिट होतात. Okay, so D0 to D7, all 8 bits are transmitted from transmitter to the receiver. This is transmitter. Data bits are transmitted to the receiver side, and it also takes place according to the clock. Here one clock line is missing. That here it should be the clock. Okay, so clock is here. Okay. So this is 9th clock line. So 9 wires are required. So as you know that total 9 lines are required. So circuit complexities will be obviously the circuit will be more complex because 9 lines are there. So there is a need of more precise circuit for communication purpose. Again, the cost of the system increases. Initial cost is high for the parallel communication. Again, distance of communication is very less because all 9 lines are there. Because of the inductance between all these lines are in parallel track. So when two lines are in parallel, it acts as a capacitor as well as inductor. So the reactance of the two lines increases. So because of that, the speed of communication also decreases and distance of communication decreases. Because what happens when the reactance decreases, the co-channel interference appears, and because of that, this line data overlaps with this line data. So when 9 lines, 16 lines, 32 lines are in parallel, so it acts as a gang capacitor sometimes. So because of that, the high frequency data is passed to the ground, correct? And for parallel communication, we are using high frequency. So obviously, data is transmitted over the high frequency. So capacitance, reactance increases, decreases. Because of that, the speed of communication and distance of communication decreases. But still, for a shorter distance, in a meters or in centimeters or in inches, the parallel communication provides no disturbance. So very less noise is added. So no need of filters over there and no need of repeaters. But in case of serial communication, there is a requirement of repeater. जर डिस्टन्स ऑफ कम्युनिकेशन किलोमीटर्स मध्ये असेल तर छोटे आपण बऱ्याच ठिकाणी पाहतो की आपले केबल ज्यावेळेस आपल्या घरावरून जाते छोटे छोटे रिपीटर्स लावलेले असतात बघा. असे काळे चौकोनी बॉक्स असतात. ते रिपीटर्स काय करतात, डेटा डिकोड करतात, परत एनकोड करतात, परत ट्रान्समिट करतात. दॅट इज युअर सिरियल कम्युनिकेशन वेअर द रिपीटर्स आर रिक्वायर्ड. In most of the cases, when the long distance communication is there, we require the repeaters at a particular distance of time. म्हणजे 1 किलोमीटर नंतर किंवा 2 किलोमीटर नंतर ठराविक रिपीटर्स लावले जातात जेणेकरून ते नॉइज रिड्यूस करतात आणि डेटा इझिली समोर पास करतात. Okay, so that's it. We have studied the serial communication, parallel communication. Again, in serial communication there are two types, the synchronous, asynchronous. Synchronous मध्ये पण परत पुढे टाइप्स येतात, एज ट्रिगर्ड, लेवल ट्रिगर्ड. एज ट्रिगर घेतलं तर रायझिंग एज ट्रिगर, फॉलिंग एज ट्रिगर. लेवल ट्रिगर घेतलं तर बायनरी 1 लेवल ट्रिगर, बायनरी 0 लेवल ट्रिगर. So likewise the subtypes are there. Okay, now this communication standard we have studied. Now what we'll do, we will